TV, followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners. Thank you for coming in, tuning with us live for another discussion topic, insightfulness topic, because we just come to give our insights, commentary, reaction to everyday real news that either affects us or indirectly affects us at all. It's like urgent insightfulness topics today because I think I was saying as early as yesterday or the day before. Because let me start the stream by saying this. Uh, we don't have to know people to get a little insight, a little, like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? You cannot cure it all, but if it's in your face all over the news, all in the media, all in the headlines every time you turn around, how could people get reactive and say they want to suddenly, y'all notice how sensitive the people are today? Let's talk about how old Wendy Williams is. Not like in age, but as far as her work. This was a woman been known to come out and, you know what I'm saying, pretty much speak her mind, speak openly when it comes to commentary and reactions. Like, what do we think radio hosts do? Things like that. So anyways, it's just weird because it's almost like back then people weren't as sensitive. She can't tell you. Like, she probably got threats here and there sometimes about topics she would bring up. Because when that show work, it's your job to cover, try to, that's what keep you in the loop, to keep the stories. But for the record, I just want to say, if I never talk about another celebrity again in my life, all I got to do is stop watching the news. What would be my affiliation with him? What would I have to curb? We still have bills and lives and stuff to pay. So when we do come to talk about these topics, it's definitely for the edification of what can we learn or what can we pay attention to. You can learn a lot, I'm sure. Not to come here with jokes. Seeing a person that a million people tore down as they were being persecuted, right? Right? And it's so funny how, like, some people trying to hide behind it, like persecution, when some people have really went through that. They just wait till they turn come and holler, oh my God, this is persecution. But that's different if the evidence and everything essentially added up to that with his situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody can try to go hide behind persecution, but unless you have the evidence, it's just not hideable anymore that you really were suffering persecution, and that's why the slander. Woo, woo. But we know with his case, some of that stuff wasn't slander. We saw the video. We what? They think people just ain't gonna bring it up no more, think about it no more. Oh, okay. They dropped his charges, so we didn't see that video of Cassie and him on the elevator or nothing about his character. Once that's leaked about you, people think what they want to think about you for the rest of your life. That's any of us when we stand on trial or on judgment day before God to answer for our sins. Like, nobody's going to be able to answer for you. Even if God say, okay, well, I found grace and mercy on your life here and there, that still don't mean the truth didn't have to come out. That's just life, man. Like, people don't know unless they... Happy birthday, shout out to you, friend. Please hit the like button, y'all. Share this, let people know I'm live, because what are y'all opinions right now? Some people feel like this is not justice. Like, this is... How is he walking away? Woo, woo, woo. First of all, he got the same lawyer as Young Thug had. That man is getting a lot of attention right now. Just like, look at the people, cases he helping to beat, right? You can't be really mad at that. I don't have nothing to say about PDiddy lawyer or the one that helped Young Thug or anybody else that was able to beat the case. But then, see, people get more sensitive. It depends on what the case was about, too. What kind of victims, and boom, boom, boom. And then you got R. Kelly still sitting in there. So it still will be interesting in the next 30 days, 45 days or so to see what people really... They saying it was so many similarities, just like R. Kelly case. Like, what was there to look at? Because that man there is still in jail. As a matter of fact, about a week or two, he was just trying to fight to get out again because he got sick in there. He was trying to allege that, somebody was trying to hurt him behind bars, and everybody was just trying to shut down what that man was saying. They said he had to be checked into a hospital Maybe some, none of us know, we wasn't there. That's the reporters' jobs. But y'all not finna come for us, the reactors and commenters, because we gotta, we just giving our viewpoints. Y'all the one put this in the headlines and media. And they want to be in control of who can do that and who the top dogs who can share the information. So we just come with what we see. But yeah, R. Kelly was trying to say he thinks some guards or somebody was probably trying to hurt him. That's probably even still to be continued. For now, though, that petition they put in for him to get out and maybe be on house arrest and all these special privileges P. Diddy get, they definitely denied R. Kelly, whatever that means. And this man was saying he felt like his life was being jeopardized. But see, this was already after his conviction. You see, a lot of people try to speak up long before the conviction because look how it is. Once you back there, that man can't even get somebody to stand up, look into if somebody really poisoned you or something like that behind bars. They don't want to hear you now. You already convicted. I'm not here to say it's fair or not, but the people are paying attention to what we're seeing. Now, you back there, you might need some vitamins or you need somebody to check your blood pressure, your heart rate, because you feel like he said, he was describing something where he not feeling good. A person can tell. I hate that. They still be trying to do that like a person crazy when they feeling headaches or sleepy. Like, that's where I was going to get to on the spiritual point about this when we talk about humiliation rituals, because people are already saying, is that what this was? All the money that went into court, all the money this man had to pay out, because Cassie was one he paid already. I don't know about the other victims, Everybody like, what's she gonna think and what these celebrities gonna say? They had been giving their opinions about it. We can still have our opinions. But that was real people's lives still. Look at that. It's like people were so sure he was finna go in there, they just start leaking everything. I'm still kind of baffled. Like, that's why I tried to tell people a long time ago. Y'all be coming with these sideways videos. That's great. You're trying to get evidence and stuff, but listen to this. They come with sideways videos and pictures. You know what I'm saying? Really, we seen the angle of the video, even when that little incident of him beating up Cassie in the hallway. But still, he said that from the beginning. We don't know what that woman did. We don't know what led up to that. I'm not here to, y'all know me of all people. I'm not finna protect the act of abuse in any way. I'm not with that. But all the footages, they try to share stuff of him and men, him and women, what he might be doing with kids, and they all was confident to bring photos, images, clips. You hadn't seen none of this stuff that was coming out until you did. And now people, they scared to face that truth? You had that stuff that whole time. Talking about, I know I was at one of the parties, I knew it was happening, and you expect people to look at you as credible. People said a long time ago, if you had all that type of information, you was at the parties, you knew what was going on. People didn't want to hear from them people anyway. They was just listening to hear what they had to say. They don't want to hear. They feel like, okay, you was around it, just like with R. Kelly. They all wanted to come out at the same time. Like, yeah, I knew this, and he did that. And look what it's teaching the world real quick. Because, I mean, how y'all bodyguards came forth, everything. Bodyguards, everybody talking. It's like, what was the point of questioning everybody, getting in their business about the parties, if wasn't nothing going on there? And it just seemed to me, in my personal opinion, it was like way so much footage, but still, let's talk about that. The footage y'all submitted, though, where did it come from? That's probably why that stuff becoming invalid, y'all. For real. You can't even explain how you got the footage. What you doing with a Meek Mills and P. Diddy type like that? Like, but you just supposed to submit that, and yeah, we just leaked this. That's all that is, a leak, L-E-A-K. That's still very real. For somebody to leak your business, that means they wouldn't even know what you had going on. Yeah, they had screenshots and photos and videos, but they wouldn't even know what's going on. If sometime, and when stuff leak, that's a whole nother story behind it. That's probably why still to this day it's like, what are we showing people? Like, when you see something happening, just mind your business, or do you want them to speak up? So many people came forth to speak up. I think they said most he might have had 2 charges that could get him, what it say, a max of 20 years. It's a minimum or a max of 20 years. What after all this whole big trial? Maybe to him that's a miracle, because the way they was trying to do it, you got 1,000 people coming at your neck because one woman came out. That still don't mean that those victims wasn't telling the truth, but just imagine. But sir, I mean, even if you get out, bond. I heard something about the family offering $1 million for a bond. I guess just so he can come home and be with the kids. And some feel like they might get approved, some it won't, But it would still be a miracle to him. 10 years compared to what these people was trying to do. Just, that's probably stuff that, he got himself caught up in. All this stuff people was trying to submit, though. I've been asking that question for so long. Where do people be getting all this quote-unquote footage and tapes? Because we know sin been here since sin was introduced to the world, really. I didn't know that suddenly, please don't let me sound like I'm defending sin. I just want to break it down. It's like sin been here since the beginning of time. And the first thing we want to do with cameras when we do get access to the technology is go and record everybody's sins. It just didn't seem like it's going in a good direction. You're going to record their sins even if they don't know you recording their sins. You're going to do an audio, boom, boom, boom. But let's go back still to the origin of sin. How it was introduced, how it was came. If we're going to say the wind is natural, the sun is natural, people committing crimes is natural, we have to talk about how natural sin is. And no matter how long it's been here, how natural it is, how much it comes with life, people's mistakes, I swear it's like they just start going crazy with the camera technology. It don't matter when people beat their case. It do to them. But this is where I'm going with it. Like, it don't matter. During that case, though, for a whole month, 2 months, people just got to see whatever people wanted to leak. And we're not even talking about, look how all that on the internet didn't even matter. Y'all crazy. So many content creators invested time in continuing to make clips, continuing to find old interviews that they felt like could catch him up. You know what I'm saying? That's just internet shit. That's what they're showing us. They be hoping they share all them clips and put all that together, and the lawyers in court see it, and it's going to affect, evidence is evidence. And then there's certain laws and reasonings behind that for a reason. Maybe everything you just thought you submit is that some of that can be counteracted because you asked that one question alone. How did you get that? You talking about you got a footage of him and Justin Bieber. Like, how did you get it? Then you want to submit that 20 years later. That's what be people problem with stuff, right? That's different if you come forth and speak about yourself. The victim they self, I say that's wrong. There should be no time limit on when that victim, they can call it what they want to, but when you Google or Wikipedia the term Stockholm Syndrome, it's very real. Not to use that, everybody can't use that in their defense the same. I'm sure the mental health parts of it would show. Stockholm Syndrome, by the way, guys, is where a person has been abused for so long, and you got those two that just still don't respect mental health rights, mental health at all. But whether they respect it or not, there's some that work in this career field that know that these type of illnesses are real. Mental health. And they'll try to tell mental health people time and time again, you're trying to hide behind it. This is the problem. We should have never start letting people who were never educated in mental health start trying to be the ones who dictate when somebody's mental health. That's number one. Because, it's people out there that'll be like, man, Stockholm Syndrome ain't real. Well, that's just something victims hide behind. Really? It's a real condition. Like, in that moment, or when you're actually being victimized, you actually don't look at it as victimization. And that's actually one of the most dangerous periods in an abusive relationship you can be in. Period. You might, I don't know, like just getting used to it, normalizing it, because you better believe that's what the abuser is working on. You being normal, you not questioning what they're doing, you're not resisting a little bit. Why would the abuser want you to do that? So sometimes their victims fall into a cycle, and they end up with a condition called Stockholm Syndrome. They will actually try to fight you over their abuser versus, admitting sometimes when even that abuser was wrong. Stockholm Syndrome, you might see a person that's actually being abused by that person, defend that person, try to fight you over that person, tell you, no, I ain't gonna leave him. I love him. I know we're going through some things. I love her. I know we're going through some things. But Stockholm Syndrome looks like that too, like where you don't understand why, but you just have this deep, some people just be thinking it's love. Like, I know that's my abuser, but I love him. Because I'm already wondering. That's crazy. Like, one of the last main women he was parading and charading around here about and with was Carisha, Young Miami. So it's just crazy. Like, all the emotions, they should let bro write a book at this point. Hell, maybe I need the one to help him publish him, because I want to know too, like, what was it like at one time under so much fire? Even your girlfriend at the time, the one act like she was your closest homegirl, helping you sell alcohol. I wouldn't say she turned on you, nigga. She walked pretty much a far distance away from you as you were going through these court proceedings. You know? And then they the ones don't be expecting, what if this go another way? What if he not found guilty on every charge? Like, what you gonna do? Nothing. Keep moving on with your life, because you already done exposed to P. Diddy how you felt like you was willing to see him go down with everybody. That side is his personal experience, but all we can wonder is what that's like. So many people brought out different things. Like I said, I don't think it's over though. I don't think it's over by a long shot. It's definitely not over if that person is not through doing what they were accused of. That's number one. That is a real thing that unfortunately happens sometimes. The wrong people, however you want to call it, they're let out, they're given leniency, they're released, or they get a spank on the wrist, right? And we're not here to judge it. Nobody can judge that but the judge. But still, that happens too, where sometimes those judgments wasn't the best. It is what it is. Like, they see it, it comes out over time. If you just start seeing the same similar thing, or we start seeing that same similar thing get worse, then we know that that person did not get out and change. We would know that person is at least a suspect. You let them out. If they was in the vicinity, the area, just out there, free. Really, I respect the Department of Justice, though, for my own reasons, because it's like, if we really sit back and look at it, they really do be trying to, I'm going to say, in our modern day time, it looks like they do try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, they do be trying to give people the chance to stop doing something. Or, like, or even in court, look at Young Thug and P. Diddy right now. They still don't promise these same people not finna get out, and it's only been probably no longer than a year since Young Thug beat his last one. Me, I'm not gonna base my life around all that and what they decided to do. I can give my comments and reaction today and move on with my life, and this is why. I'm not God to say, yep, this was a wake-up call to him and he gonna never ever do that again. He ain't gonna They ain't gonna catch him on camera. They ain't gonna have no more footage of people. Like, you don't know what a person gonna do with their future. That's them. They show us though. They show us with their, okay, boom. They got leniency. They got grace, mercy. They got a lighter penalty. You still don't know what their person actions or like decisions, what they gonna do in the future. Just know, y'all, and I'm sure the Department of Justice is aware, but the act of retaliation is also real. That's what's scary about these type of situations. If he do just overall end up walking out the jail, him or R. Kelly. What you mean? Bill Cosby did though. Last I checked, Bill Cosby got out for like similar accusations. He was able to get help and get his case heard and get out of jail. That's all I know. Bill Cosby was. R. Kelly, no matter what he tried, we is seeing that with that brother. No matter what he petitions, what he trying to do, they just don't seem to be budging at all. Like, they don't with R. Kelly, no matter what he turn in, they not trying to budge or turn the knob a little bit. Like, bro, they trying to keep you in there. So the people we all looking at a lot right now, every case is different. With Cassie's, can I tell y'all my personal opinion? Like, and shout out to her, congratulations to her family with the new baby and everything, because I do try to consider that these are real people lives, no matter who in their head think I don't. Why would I not know that? If you're talking about real people, they real people, they alive, they living. Okay, so what I said is, I didn't think that with Cassie would go for it anyway when he done already paid you out his money. He had already tried to settle something with you. Like, how y'all even end up back in the courtroom? That was just my question, y'all. I was wondering how 30 million, that ain't no little bitty amount of money. 30 MIL. You would have thought she just would have got her. I don't know. But it's like with all the other people they had in her too. I just feel like maybe she shouldn't have been in that one. Like, he already paid you. 30 million, y'all. 30 million. Imagine dishing out 30 million. Then you got to turn around and have headaches in court again and again. And you got to face this person again. We don't know. Maybe the 30 million was just for something else they was trying to settle about. Okay? Maybe just that incident alone. Like, notice how they kept on showing that camera footage of whatever happened at that hotel elevator that day. They just kept re-showing it. That's like irrelevant if you're not telling the side story, behind story, before story. Like, what y'all trying to say, right? Even if the person try to come out and defend themselves, it already showing them being physically violent with another person. It just looked worse, I guess, if you ask me, because, that was a woman. It was just one-on-one. It looked like she couldn't really defend herself. She didn't even try to. But yeah, we really can't say in our own right, well, we know why they're happening. I see that right there. That proves, I guess, the justice system, though. When it really get looked at, why it can't be looked at, what led to that moment, right? Yeah, y'all thought, well, it showed her running out the room like she was running from something. And she was trying to get on the elevator, like, okay, what was they doing in the room? Was everybody willing participants that day? Did you had already paid her, or you wasn't going to get paid if she left? Because it definitely showed a clip of her being assaulted by like I said, they'll try to use that same clip over and over and over again. I don't think anything could justify the way, they leaked him doing her. Nothing can justify that. But when you're talking about the court of law, though, in their ears, what was y'all doing? Where was she running from? Were y'all willing participants in whatever y'all was doing? And did she change her mind? Like, they just want to know. Court, don't nobody go to court to play. They want to know. Like, and then where the footage come from. Some was just assuming it came from the hotel hallway, but he thought he had maybe got rid of it or paid some people off to get that off camera. Cause you're in a when you're in a relationship, no matter where you go, I mean, y'all come together, it's gonna be assumed y'all came together, y'all was in a relationship. But I'm saying you're gonna have relationship problems whether you're in public or private. What do people mean with that? What do people mean with that? If you don't have a healthy relationship at home, it's gonna show in private. If well, you know what I'm trying to say, in public. If you don't have a healthy relationship in public, on social media, then why assume what it is in private? You see, they don't even, some people really try to show that. Like, hey, I'm not even friends with this person on social media. I'm not even talking to this person. Like, I have these 50 million people fucking blocked. Like, how you gonna say, so you might want to know, like, dang, how all these people get this footage or something like that. I was trying to tell people that there probably is a possibility they do assess how the footage was obtained. What's wrong with people? I don't have to be a cop or in the law or know the law for that. It just seemed to make sense. You just came in here with a side face picture of the man doing something and no other story. Because the whole time he was trying to say everybody that was at them parties, they was fully aware of what they're coming to. And they was fully willing participants, because when you're grown, ladies and gentlemen, grown people get off into grown activities. I just don't think it's over, because like, even if they like, okay, well, we didn't get you here, like stuff can still come up, especially if that person don't plan to slow down with what some people just not satisfied with the little piece. They go into retaliation mode. And yes, I'm sorry, with that man, he just seemed like, I don't know, he would have I ain't gonna say reason to, but he seemed like, I wouldn't put it past him. But they trying to get them to rush him back home. R. Kelly didn't get rushed back home. Even Bill Cosby served some time, and he's like way older. He was an older age when they brought these allegations up about him. The great Bill Cosby. He did go sit and do some time, though. That's what I'm looking at. Wasn't Bill Cosby in there a few years? Maybe longer. Y'all just don't talk about it. He was already sitting in there. So, this is my question to y'all. Leave your opinions in the comments. Like, do you think, I don't know, what was more severe? Or do we got to go back and watch the R. Kelly documentaries? Like, I was just wondering, do we go back and watch the R. Kelly documentaries at this time just to sit here and compare? Like, we can compare that. They didn't have the same lawyers, and that shows. And overall, this is that fine line, thin ground right here we be talking about. People can holler in the back all they want, like, what is this saying for the victims and for the other abusers moving forward? It would say one of the main things they were saying all the way through the trial, that actually some of them, they just be hollering their opinions, like, oh, they be scared to speak up, so just let the man out. When they know things like manipulation, intimidation, playing with a person's life, so they feel like they don't want to testify, is very real too. You can't put everybody in that same box. So I do want to say shout out in a positive way to the victims alleged victims who did find it, the courage, if they were victims of some of this stuff. Like, cause who else gonna tell? I'm sure they have support systems and stuff. People do move on with their life after being used, abused. Some people still find a way and manage and move on with their life. Because like we seeing here, when they do speak up, we looking at what does and doesn't happen. And when they don't speak up, we're looking at what does and doesn't happen. It ain't nothing to talk about no more. More people than none are not actually standing in their truth. Because if all it takes is a few people to be quiet and that person is back a saint, that person didn't do nothing, that person is off the clear, then what is true? As far as I know, the truth is always, when it need to be proven, have to be proven with evidence, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it all come down to. But when people got stupid, they get so, I mean, because you should never get in a form of desperateness for the evidence. I don't believe that. It don't need to go as low as desperate. You already on the right level when you, because if it's the truth, you already know why you trying to obtain it. It shouldn't be no problems obtaining it. I'm telling people, every little in between like that, says a million words. Like, whether these victims speak up or not, if you ask me, you see a bigger thing. Like, is it that overall more people would want to uh, cover up these type of crimes, these type of abuses, these type of circumstances that people do go through in the industry? Do y'all think they don't care because they was in the industry? They care when it was young kids and babies. That's why probably a lot of people will be very, very shocked if he walk away with nothing. Like, even as a man, he got to look at that. Some of your artists, sir, were way younger when they first started and stuff like that. The courts do their job. They looked at it, whatever they find. We are the people. It even showed his parents. He comes from a cycle himself. PDiddy. I looked at it. I just didn't do as many topics because when it was first fresh, nobody was ever even looking at it, talking about it. Like, just a few victims had started coming out speaking. And at that time, it was just allegations. Like, so who knows? Everybody pretty much agreed it's one of them situations, your money. Like, bro, you can't force people to still do business with you, work with you, want to be around you, do business deals, let you take out a loan. They was trying to say Jay-Z and Beyonce already kind of going through that. Not the business part, but maybe the loans, because the internet just be nosy like that, the media. Um, they was trying to say that they don't go get loans as easy these days. It don't matter that you put Jay-Z on the P. This the Knowles business. Once certain stuff come out about you, like, what did people think this was? Okay, you got off in the earthly judgment court, but God Himself still looks at things. I was talking about that last night, just about the land, because to me, the land and the people on that land is two different things. And it's like the Bible told us, the land, the blood, the rocks will cry if they have to. You're not just going to sit there and keep burying pain through your systems. Burying tragedy, burying people's stories and like how they was victimized. Like, maybe that's just some fantasy I'm saying. No, that ain't fantasy. That's real. Like, the rocks will cry out. The blood will begin to cry out. The souls from the other side will begin to cry out. You know, why wouldn't they? I don't put stuff like that off. Like, I feel like it's very possible and real for the land, the environment, the universe, all of that to respond, because they feel like your systems are not handling this accordingly. What? Justly, fairly, whatever. Because like I said, I can't deny it's dangerous for you to sit there and let out a person that was a terroristic threat the first time. Not calling him that, calling what you want to, anybody. It's been so many stories of like women, men get restraining orders. People always tell me, go around and do this, this, and that. And it always got to do with paperwork and people. And they crazy and wrong, and it's unheard of if they trust in like just them, their substance, the universe, the grass they walk on every day. They just want to be grateful for that. Somebody was trying to be funny, talking about, y'all know they always find God. That's why I'm going to make sure I come back and do as many topics I feel like that's insightful and that kind of touches on it more so people can get more of a perception. Because do they know what they be saying with certain things? Like, you might be right, but that's not everybody. R. Kelly knew God. Some of these, Beyonce, some of these celebrities were raised in church. This ain't nothing new we haven't heard before. But y'all saying, oh, they try to go run and they swear they found God once they in trouble. Y'all not gonna hold that over everybody's head. Some people knew to pray the whole time. They just didn't, or it shows too. That's one thing you can't deny. Because if they was already with God, following God, walking with God, how did you end up in that situation, right? Real stories speak for themselves, because the devil do be attacking people once they, he come at people. I just thought that was rude to say. I wouldn't care what a person did. Them trying to go seek God is probably the best thing. They're like, yeah, in prison, they all seem to find God. They all want to talk about God then. And if they do, leave them alone. That's a dark place not everybody is waking up in every day. And I said a dark place. Let them find something that regulates their mind. Like, people just be yep, they all find God in there. Like, yeah, be aware, but be aware too. Some people, them finding God is real. Whether it's in there, out here, no matter what weapon is formed against them. Y'all be thinking because they rappers, country singers, actors, they didn't know God. Each and every one of them still make conscious decisions and choices. So I guess it's just harder. The Bible said this first. They say it's easier for a poor man to make it into the kingdom of heaven, right? Like this analogy, this parable he gave, like it's easier for a camel to squeeze through the eye of a needle. Like, you better off trying that before trying a rich man might make it into heaven. And it's a sad revelation, and is that because once they go there, you really are giving it, let's say, in exchange, like, for your soul? Because he said, what profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? It was a question. When you talk about profit and increases and deposits, which people should know all about when you got money. But what does it profit you to gain the whole world? All these yachts, all these houses, because we see with PDiddy situation, man, they came right in their seas and stuff. They can seize what they want to. Was you really in control? Maybe we will see more celebrities coming to God very soon. Since people want to joke about it, like, oh, they all find God all of a sudden when they're in trouble. Bro, they been speaking out that it's some way different stuff going on that side. Higher level stuff. If we don't get it by now, it is what it is. I'm not here to re-explain it, but haven't they been saying they get deals? People come to them for a deal. You don't do what somebody say. Look at P. Diddy's story. To me, if he is receiving leniency, it's not for no reason. There had to probably been proof of like retaliation somewhere, even with him. People coming after you. Why you in there? They pressuring him to talk and be honest and tell the truth. But the whole time, what if he was being retaliated against? I mean, R. Kelly said it was happening to him. You can only see this so many times, literally, at the same time, two different black men or whatever, right? And just keep denying it. Like, oh, even while we already persecuting them, they be having people coming at them. Like, really trying to do our goddamn jobs. Literally, like, coming in between the creeks, the cracks. Like, they can't miss it now. It's like that goo that begins to seep through the cracks. When it comes to something as serious as justice, man. Like, that part ain't new, y'all. Like, witnesses been going through stuff probably for years. That ain't what I'm talking about, though. Like, this is people already on a prosecution stand. Already in trouble. already being persecuted. Already videos, pictures just floating around. Keep up with me. Already money being played with and things being seized. Like they already in the hands of those people when it's at that level. So what else is going on? If there be people in their godlike mentalities trying to come in and do the police job. They didn't know what books and guidelines and the laws they have to go by. And let's not mention by state. The laws where he might have been on trial are not the same where you at and what state you are. The penalties anyways. Let's say that sometimes the laws, the regulations, and the penalties, they differ by state. This is not new. It might be states that marry bisexual people. Some states don't. What they mean? In his stance where he was from, I think they, you know, I don't want to just look at it like that. Like, that's not the only point. Like, oh my God, they don't care about the victim. Bro, people care about the victims once they're telling you to come forth and speak. Look at what is happening to them when they're trying to. It's like I said, the goo out of the cracks that you can't miss no more. He was already on stand and trial and trying to get through what he going through. Nobody showed that they was trying to make it easy for him either. Like, we're going to show all the clips, all the videos, all the website stuff we can against you. We're going to make as much money off these interviews with this situation. Maybe that's why they do call it a humiliation ritual. Have you noticed that? Why does it seem like every time somebody somewhere is being humiliated, somebody else, like, literally get a whole breakthrough in their life? This has to be discussed. It ain't even got to be like a spiritual topic. Literally. Every time somebody else, we're not talking about struggling, poverty, something like that. Literally being humiliated. And then pay attention to how long they in a humiliation. Like, because maybe it do have to be for a certain period. For whatever they be trying to do. Like, yeah, humiliate him or her, but it needs to last 2 weeks. Or yeah, humiliate him or her, but it needs to be this heavy. I'm talking about to the point where they so humiliated, they don't want to show their face. And it do. Like, let's say some of us out here already been believing something like that real. So just in case, you already like, let me find my soul. Let me really find it. Because what is you taking to humiliate somebody so bad? What are you taking from them? Anyway. So let me find my soul in this world, right? Let me find my life, my mind. Who am I? What's been going on, right? And no matter where you go to seek your answers, you willing to, because it's like, I want to hear the actual, like, what do we be saying? Humiliator or him to the max. Make sure you put because like I said, it do seem like somebody benefit in a financial way. Maybe that's why they was talking, just for those that didn't understand, because I fully even don't, but it's supposed to be something like that. But I see that much every time somebody's suffering somewhere. But we ain't even just talking about suffering. Suffering in itself is humiliating, right? Why do you think they try to get some of these guys to the level of suffering? Take deals from them, contracts. Okay. So they be suffering, but suffering is a level of humiliation. What are you suffering with? Is it a sickness? Is it, because you wouldn't just say you're going to be humiliated because you're sick. You're going to be humiliated because you can't go to work. You're going to be humiliated because you're not able to drive somewhere. You got to walk everywhere you go. Still, all in all though, why is it that every time somebody else is on another side of the world, globe, city, down the street, is being humiliated, and you can actually like prove the act, like every chance somebody get, they trying to humiliate that person, and they not even on trial, they not even in court. It look like, what do be the, it's showing you something. What do be the purpose of it? Because it's like, is that what we saying with PDiddy? Like, it was a humiliation attempt. We gonna humiliate you till they lock you up. We're gonna bring up all them buddies he had, I'm sure. That's what people talking about. You knew what that person was in when you on the payroll. Maybe it was so bad that this is having to go the way it is. Like, we can't trust none of the testimonies being put up here. All of them seem to kicked it with them. At these same times, they trying to show stuff like, this about Tupac, this about that person. Like, they bringing it all up plus today. Do y'all know how old P. Diddy is? I wouldn't just look at him. They looking at everybody he was kicking it with. That's why some of his buddies out here already had kind of been taking hits. Like, certain people don't want to do business with you if they thought you was partnered up with P. Diddy in any type of way here just in the past year. When they feel like the fire on him and people coming for him, they scattered like roaches too, even away from him. That's the question of the day. Why every time somebody just seemed like somebody just was humiliated all through the night, all through the day, the afternoon, they was humiliated, but somebody else just done beat a whole case. Literally, they had videos, pictures, witnesses, everything in the courtroom. Was anybody humiliated yesterday? Last night, this morning, this past week, all last month, while that person been on trial? It's just like, dang, okay, well, that would make sense. You know what I'm saying? They make a lot. It's like, whoa. Was Cassie the one that had to be humiliated? So you going through humiliation. They just calling out more and more stuff y'all did together. Text messages, they seen, picture message, videos, right? But even after all this shown, sis, she had already got $30 million. She had already got that, like, to settle out, right? That's one of the first things that kind of got things cracked open and going here. That's crazy. So, like, is settlements even safe to trust it anymore? Because it's like, why accept your settlement when you could still take me up in her? I can still end up getting subpoenaed to come up in here. Should I take your settlement? I'm just wondering. Cassie probably got a story too. She needs to write a book. When I refer to these guys, I use their stage names and stuff because that's who we know them as in their work. But is the work worth it? To them it is, as long as they get to get out and still have money. But is your work still worth it? It's what your work can do to you. I don't care. Even if they can't speak out, we see it. Really, it's just you at the end of the day. Like, that finds that work your worth. Once they invest their whole worth in that work, that industry, now you trying to tell another rich lady, let's settle, but she still end up, y'all just humiliating each other in court. I would just say it shows where most of the balance went. A lot of people were looking to benefit. That's what I'm saying. They was looking to benefit off of his demise. They even said he deserved it. You know how people get when the crimes and stuff is exposed. Now it's like, If you ask me, if people really see these victims to begin with, like, way more would have been boycotted right now. Bye now. I'm gonna say bye now. These people return to the same institutions, organizations, companies, businesses. They return right back there after stuff like this. Yeah, I'm going right back to my label to make music. Like, did your label just take you through like 6 months of court and trial stuff? You just end up in some whole stuff. But this how dedicated. Maybe they're trying to show us, like, look how we got them. I know y'all be envying their lives, but look how we got them. That's what I see it saying. You know, them, you think you going through something? Them, once they get in this industry and they think they finna leave and they ain't finished a contract or they didn't do something we said, Let's show. They just be trying to flex their power. Let's show everybody how we can humiliate them. Because why you didn't hear all this about? I was wondering it. Why you didn't hear all this about P Diddy before? It was just the timing. It was like boom, and that's exactly why some people think some of these things that come out is just specifically for distractive reasons, for predictive programming, for mind control manipulation purposes. We rather y'all be more caught up into what's going on with this case over here. Just keep the masses more paying attention to this because we've been busy still trying to see where these drones is coming from. Uh, we've been busy making new bills because really everybody attention was on it just for most people to feel like he not even finna get the outcome they feel like he deserved. But your attention was on it. You watch the news every day trying to see the update when you got off work with the trial. We know why some did it. It was their podcast money, their radio show money, their interview stages money to let everybody come out and talk. I'm talking about the energy, the attention you put into that whole trial. Now you want to get on social media in the comments and say, this not even fair. He's not finna. Oh, he's finna get out, or he getting this way lesser sentence. You're just mad because you invested all that time. I promise, as a real person, I did not. That stopped with me way back. I heard when the trial started going, like I just wasn't paying attention no more. I'm not saying I didn't care and that the victims don't matter. Just with me personally, like once it got to that level, it wasn't something I was gonna be putting a lot of energy and attention into following. Like, what's happening every day? I let the other people have it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, really, that's their person like life now. They was facing, looking. So if I had to put a time frame on it, like since December of 2024, me personally, I haven't been invested in just putting my energy into reading every article or every news story that gave an update about the P Diddy trial. This is not about comparing myself to others. This is about being curious about how many did. They knew this was going to be ground shaking, world changing stuff. The way this really could have all unfolded. That's what people felt. It was like as big as the O.J. Simpson case or something. Everybody was getting off work, checking the new trial updates every day. And just give myself credit where it's due. Like, I don't know what it would say about me or what that means, but I was not one of them people just trolling. When I came out and spoke about it, I spoke about it and said what I said. And then it's just time done went by, and this is what I'm saying about it now. They can sit there and try to compare the two podcasts if they want to. I'm not going to be one of those like, right here she was saying this, but now she's saying that. No, I can only speak on what the judgment came down to be. Where the judgment looked like it's heading. What they're trying to propose already. Like, where he haven't already found guilty. That's all I can speak on. And probably why. Were any of y'all even credible? You want to talk about the podcasters and the people that was talking about it and writing news stories about it, but were the people he was kicking it with, the people that was at the parties, the people that were allegedly victimized, how close were they to him? Were you forced into meeting them? Boom, 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 right? They probably already looked at all that. Then it's like, we got to know that, because, like, how do you have all these? How do you have, we're not talking about the raid and all that. See, he's already gone through that. And it's crazy because, like, it's really crazy. I see how they be trying to steal destinies or something through humiliation rituals. They will literally take what you going through and try to carry it like it's their burden, but they really not carrying your burden. They just got to kind of look like you and what you're going through to receive your innocence, your miracle, your blessing, whatever you was finna get on the other side when you went through it. Because so many stories wouldn't resemble, but only one person is getting his main justice. Like, what? And it's not the victims overall who feel like they're getting it. I don't know. Maybe he paid them. That's a lot of money though. That in itself, plus your court fees, plus all the stuff they seize, you probably got to try to go back and get again. Um, if you can get it, because they were saying something about the payments on one of his houses or something. But like stuff like that, they like, who cares? We don't care the burdens on the people, but when it's when they on trial, people saying that's wrong anyway. He was just up there by himself. And I don't know if I want to speak on it because I think this was like a RICO type of deal. That's exactly what's happening here. He's not being found guilty over there on those charges. That's pretty serious, bro. So they saying, okay, we'll look at this other stuff, but those we Xing out, like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all brought with that, with the, they Xing that out at this time. Anyways, I was just saying, because people just feel like they can get all this stuff out, put whatever pictures and videos and stuff out about a person just to get the outcome that they want. That's a prime example right there. Y'all can't always do that. Mommy. Like somebody ain't gonna ask, well, why the video or the picture is this or that angle? Why it don't look like that person knew you caught the foot, you know? And it just get exposed the way people be out here desperate to get. So many rappers and different things done went through that lately too. Like I said, we don't stop and just look at the person. What organizations, affiliations, business, labels, companies was they affiliated with during the allegations? You know what I'm saying? Anybody can do that, try to rush it all. Like, yeah, it was all him. People didn't respect that from the beginning. Then slowly and slowly, more people evidence start coming out, like, or their stories start coming out. Like, yeah, I think they had me over there before, you know. I wonder how the young lady Tori's doing, or what have she give a reaction already to? I think she had said that in her prediction that he was gonna walk off. She didn't feel like he was gonna. I'm gonna have to go back and watch her interviews. And do know, just like victims, people that know they actually went through something, they just be sitting back kind of watching, like, that's why they predict like that. Like, hey, I don't think this is gonna go down that way. I don't think they. But she did give a prediction. Some still look at her as a reliable source to this day. Some don't. Some like Eric. That's why her videos do be getting a lot of views and following. But we gotta know, some people be critics. Like, no matter how bad of a situation you knew you actually went through. Like, did they look at what was going on in between, or what? How'd it go? Did they look at what was going on in between, like, why he on trial, like, what was happening to people? What was going on in the world? Why was the war started just right before your trial is ended? Like, come on, man. I wouldn't say a war started, but, like, definitely what they call it, missiles fired and stuff like that. Since you've been on trial, bro. Ain't nobody finna be that distracted. All that's been going on while that was going on. Who cares what the end judgment is? It's been a whole lot of, I don't know, I would say other stuff people should be concerned about. Even if it's your last day breathing, to get justice is beautiful, don't get me wrong. But like on the survival spectrum, maybe that is why so many people, like today, I feel like we're gonna see Everybody see these changes happening in the country, different fundings and budgets being cut, different stuff like that. So they feel like they see the direction it's going in. People feel like they're gonna need money, right? Look at the way some people go about it. They tell you to go get a job. The way they're going about keeping their bank accounts and pockets full, some of this stuff is unbelievable. I want to go bring up Diddy sins from 20 years ago. We need some money. They even had Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, like I said. It just starts to look that way. Like, didn't he already pay one of them girls $30 million? I remember talking about that when he first did it. See, when I first did my podcast, that's exactly what it was about. My reaction video. Okay, mama. That's what it was about when I talked about it. Like, hey, did you guys hear? This guy he just said he agreed to pay her the $30 million. That's when I talked about it. It wasn't just straight coming out like, oh my God, did y'all hear this about PDiddy? He must have really did it. Even then, someone was saying he's just coming for his money. Yeah, see, they'll talk about how they watch you and caught whatever evidence watching you. But let's talk about how if 20 different people watch a movie, they all got something different out their movie. That's why I wouldn't want any and just everybody watching me. You just have an image. Like I said on the stream, if I get 20 students a piece of paper and get them all the same image, a picture of a deer in a rainforest, and say, now all of y'all write me 3 sentences about this image. I guarantee you not all of them gonna be the same. They might have similar things included, just like a trial might go. But it's like only the image tells the true truth. All you can do is put your story together with that. What you mean? Like, you do see the image. Everybody gonna get that part. We know you was around. You might know. You knew her. You know how they go. But as far as everybody's perception of that image, you might just say, that's a struggling man. I might say, that's a struggling, trying man, though. That struggling man is trying. That man, you didn't see him? He got 2 jobs, woo woo. But that other person just say, oh, that's a struggling man. I don't do struggling men, but I might see that struggling man different. Like, not even in a relationship way. Like, how I look at that same image you just told me. Like, look at that struggling man. You might say, oh, Bob, I don't care what you say about him. That's a hard worker. That ain't no struggling man. Sorry, guys, I was chewing. But like, oh, who, Bob? That ain't no struggling man. It's just, so with his situation too, you just had a lot of people, we all saw it different. When they first seen it, they said, oh yeah, you know he did something. If he paid her the money, that still ain't our business, bro. Do you have 30 million? If somebody brings something up from your past right now, do you have 30 million to pay a woman? But I never jumped on anybody's podcast comments and said that. Y'all know we still think what we think personally when we read these stories and stuff, though. I'll be talking out loud just like I'm watching TV when I watch videos on YouTube too. I might talk loud like, no, run, don't go that way. When it's a scary movie, you talking to the TV. That's how some of us are with our reactions. Like, you wanted to tell some of the video people you saw. That's a great topic or whatever, but do you have $30 million to pay a person if they come out with some allegations against you? Because we see P. Diddy did. Not just that, he had the fees for his lawyers. He had the court fees. He had the travel money for his family to come back and forth. Once again, how many people would have it like that if this came to their front door today? He went through a lot just because, like I said, people feel like he's a victim of that. They was coming for just came for him in that way with his money and everything. I'll be back soon with another insightful topic. Thank you guys for tuning in with You Will Make It TV, where we share inspirational quotes, messages, and insightful topic, not just all summer long, but all 2025 long. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to show your support, and until next time.